This college basketball picks and Ivy League tournament edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast brought to you by Cut. Cut is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that's US based and available in 40 states. Head to cut.com, that's KUTT.com, and use promo code SGPN for a 10% deposit bonus. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Play their fantasy pick'em for a chance to win 100x in the NBA, NHL, college basketball, and more. Sign up today using promo code SGPN to get a 100% deposit match. We're also brought to you by Champs. Run your own March Madness pool and enter Champs free bracket contest for a chance to win $1,000. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/champs to enter today. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com and use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today.
Hey, this is Pac-Man Jones. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride. Yes, sir.
Long, Cox.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, second the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
I just realized I accidentally bet an extra 0 on something today.
Really?
Oh my God.
What game or what future?
Oh, it was a game. Fortunately for me, it was a win. Let's just say let's just say
What was the game?
It was the first game of the day. I'm going through. I'm looking. I'm like, what the fuck happened to my balance? There must have been a future that cashed. I'm going through. Did I hit a future today? Did I cash one of these many juicy favorite winners that may also be favorites? No. So I go through the list. Nope, my dumb ass just put $1,000 on St. Joe's this morning. I didn't even watch it like I had a massive sweat on the game. I didn't. I was casually. I told you I won. No big deal. Didn't even. All right. Happy March Madness, Sean. Happy March Madness to you.
Yeah, it is a happy March Madness. Shout out to the Montana State Bobcats cashing me a 20-1. First nice big cash here of the college basketball conference tournament season. Fortunately, CSUN and Penn State tragic demise today. Really back to back. I mean, Syracuse and Lehigh died similar time window. UCLA is now dead. Penn State,
UCLA covered.
Yeah, they did cover. They did cover. And I think CSUN did cover as well. I don't know. I just was on the money line, but yeah, it's conference tournament season.
Yeah, but teams like TCU, I'm glad it happened now and not next week. You losers!
Save the Cinderella story.
Seton Hall,
TCU.
you losers!
Yeah, that was bad.
Why?
There's been, I mean, that Indiana Penn State game.
BYU losers.
BYU. I mean, we cursed ourselves with all that Temple information, because once we started Googling pictures of the Temple, we were all in, and I think maybe the Mormon God. I don't know if he's the same God. Whatever the God is, we angered him, Ryan, because BYU could not hit a shot to save their life.
I mean, I don't mess with no gods that want that kind of skinny needle thing built towards the sky. It feels a little bit more like aliens than it. I did start going on a deep dive. It seems like there's much more to the story here.
Oh, I would not doubt that.
You know what I learned? I'll give you one nugget. They had to wait on the government to actually buy the land because they were ready to buy the land before the government was ready to sell land. That's how deep this goes, Sean. Anyway, moving on.
Let's get into it, Ryan. Before we're joined by Pick Dundee himself, shout out to Cuts. Been just wheeling and dealing over on Cut. It's just a ton of fun, man. The ultimate put your money where your mouth is. I've been on a roller coaster. It's up nice, then blew it, then got back in. I think I'm like literally right at what I deposited at Cut, and it's easy when you go 1-1. You're not losing a ton of juice. I love that about Cut. I love the head-to-head aspect. I love the custom bets aspect that Cut has going. We are currently sweating out the conference tournament buzzer beaters bet over on Cut. Right now, I'm saying it's still at 0, right? Because we made sure it was a game winner. Knock on wood. Almost had one in the Penn State game. They chucked up a 3. If it would have went in, it would have been a game. It would have been a buzzer beater. I was kind of torn while the ball was in the air. But then also I remember as soon as the kid shot it, you knew it had no fucking chance. But again, get over on Cut. You're going to be betting a ton for March Madness. That juice adds up. Maybe we can find someone on Cut to take some first half overs, Ryan. Use that promo code SGPN. Get that 10% deposit bonus. Joining us on the line, you know him, you love him from the college basketball experience, Mr. Pick Dundee. What's happening, Colby?
Last night there was a buzzer beater. Stephen F. Austin won at the buzzer to get it done against Abilene Christian. So you are very close, my friend, to losing some cashola.
All right.
Who are you rooting for, Colby?
I'm just rooting for these games are awesome. Don't like this is the best event. Look, I actually think you could argue that today and tomorrow are just as good as the opening days of the NCAA tournament.
Play his music. He's a fish. He's gone full tout. That's the last thing to go is the love of the actual March Madness tournament. When you start saying conference tournament week is better. Although I do kind of see the appeal. What I hate
the
about
ultimate college basketball hipster move.
But I do hate how I fall in love with these teams that suck. The teams that play in the play, because they've restructured the way they do tournaments. We watch these crappy teams a day earlier than all the good teams. In some cases, 2 days earlier. And so what happens? I start falling in love with these crappy teams. Yeah. I want to bet on them the next day, like BYU against Texas Tech. Turned out that was a horrible idea. The skinny temple in the sky had nothing to do with basketball.
No, but I mean these games are awesome because they're basically playoff games. It's the same as next week. It's the same exact thing as next week for. Colorado, Utah happening right now. It's essentially an elimination game. Jesus, I can't talk.
Must win. I mean, St. John's won their way in today, right?
I can't believe you guys faded the White Knight. You give them three.
Sipping that beautiful whiskey you guys gave me for Christmas.
You guys give him 3 chances. He'll beat Mother Nature 3 chances. All right.
They did look good, and I even talked about the bounce pass anecdote, and I still went against it. In hindsight, it felt stupid.
Do you see what he said regarding the UConn game, Josh? Can we load up that clip? Because Rick Pitino was asked, what can they do to beat UConn tomorrow?
Oh,
UConn tomorrow. What do you have to do to knock them off?
We got to have about 6 of their players get COVID.
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations.
I love
tomorrow.
how
What do you have to do to knock them off?
he's very honest.
I mean, that guy looks like a vampire. Have we discussed this? Just such vampire vibes.
Can we get a rankings list maybe because Rick Barnes should be on that list?
Yeah. I feel like
Jamie Dixon low key has that Dracula hair thing going in the middle that we always make fun of.
Yeah, he definitely has the widow's peak. Just incredibly as an incredibly pale guy, Rick Pitino looks incredibly pale and just has a hardcore vampire.
Looks like a count. Like if someone called him Count, you wouldn't.
My wife says he's the villain in Batman.
I could see him getting really mad. Batman.
The other side of that coin is he is 72.
Yeah,
that hasn't aged much in the last couple of years, considering the circumstances.
I mean, you know what keeps him young, Ryan?
What's that? Greece?
You have to know when to come.
Oh, the diners. Yeah, he learned about the diners in Greece. I hear that's why he took the job over there. Yeah, I don't know. Electric day. Although I feel like the electricity. I feel like yesterday was the peak of electricity with those 10 conference tournaments starting. Could just be me.
No, I mean there's a bunch of good games. We got a bunch left here. Going to be breaking down a ton of games for Friday, even a couple Saturday games as well. Hey, have you guys signed up for our free bracket contest? Partnering up with Champs, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/champs. Enter now because the earlier entry is the tiebreaker. So whoever gets in there first, I think, has the tiebreaker. Free entry for a chance to win $1,000, and you can get 2 free entries if you host your pool on Champs, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/champs. Get in over there. I mean, come on, a free shot at $1,000. Who are you to turn that down? That's right. Get in there. You'll enjoy it. Let it ride.
I was trying to calculate the overlay. It might be impossible.
It's massive.
Could be impossible. Some say it's impossible or infinite. All right, let's. You want to talk about some games?
Let's go.
This list has got longer than I remember. The spot I started at earlier today. Colby must have gotten his hands on it. Big Ten action. We're heading to Minneapolis, which 9 a.m. local time for us means they're playing at 11 a.m. In Minnesota. Michigan State, Purdue laying 6.5. I mean, this is kind of your Izzo on short rest angle, Sean, is it not? Although the other team not coming off short rest, I feel like this is going to be a classic. We just watched Michigan State, so it's easy to find a reason to want to take Michigan State, but Purdue's going to stomp them, right, Colby?
Your over bet could be in jeopardy right now. Marquette with the ball, 2.5 seconds. Oh, they smart. They caught the ball and called a timeout again. Wow. So 2.3 seconds left, all tied up.
Live sweat.
Yeah. Could have a buzzer beater here, Sean.
I'm sweating.
What are we talking about? Yeah, I'm actually going to take Sparty.
Really?
The line is telling you. And because this was within the past week, this was a 10 or 11 point spread. Why would it be at 6.5 when Purdue covered that spread? So
Purdue beat them by a 6 in East Lansing.
Only 6, yeah.
No, the second game in West Lafayette that just happened. There was a game that just happened, and I took Michigan State, I think plus 10 or 9.5, and it didn't
Purdue.
Hit. Yeah,
they played Purdue on March 2nd. That was
Yeah. Sorry, you're right. It was at Purdue, and they lost by 6.
I see. Sorry.
Oh, maybe I was thinking of Wisconsin.
Yeah,
I was thinking of Wisconsin. Yeah.
Got it.
I'll take the points though. Look, Purdue's got nothing to play for. Michigan State's got everything to play for.
It's tough. I didn't really love what I saw out of that Michigan State team, although closed strong there in the second half against Minnesota. But
we got a buzzer beater. You just lost.
Well, no, it's 1.5, right?
Yeah, but Colby said Stephen F. Austin.
No, yesterday Stephen F. Austin hit as that was a true buzzer beater.
Wow.
This dude, look at this play design. Look at this. I did have the
clock.
No. Look at this play design from Shaka Smart. Great fucking play design.
Oh wow! All right, well, I guess Ann Villanova goes home. Sorry, Sean. Not to Shaka. There's nothing worse.
Oh,
and the cut bet.
Does he get it off?
Uh-oh.
I think he gets it off.
So you're taking Michigan State because
I am.
They played them close recently, and the
and then you make the he might not have got it off.
I'm gonna take. I'll take Michigan State. I always like Izzo on the quick turnaround, even though, as you pointed out, Ryan, Purdue not on the quick turnaround.
No. I learned a lesson today. Don't fall in love with teams that played well the day before. Purdue.
I mean, CSUN's legs in the second half against Hawaii, that certainly didn't help. Although they were in it till the very end as well. You're taking Purdue.
Oh yeah,
Zach Edey.
This is time to take Purdue.
Yeah,
they're. I imagine the Heimlich will be in order next week.
Yeah, you're right. The more I think about it, I'm taking Purdue as well. Like, this is Purdue's time to shine. Beaten up on pointless Big Ten opponents in the conference tournament.
They haven't announced it yet, but I think you're alive because I think he's a tenth of a second late.
Oh wow!
So
no
that
bucket.
would then
the chat's chiming in. No bucket.
Bucket. I think he's a tenth of a second late.
Sorry, Colby. I know you're rooting against my bet for no reason, but bringing all that negativity.
I love college hoops. I want buzzer beaters, and I don't mind it if you set a ridiculous bet and you lose.
Didn't get it off overtime.
In fairness, Sean, I'd argue the number we've set is quite good as the sweat is progressing onto Thursday.
It's Thursday. What are you talking
It is
about?
Thursday.
We got a couple, but the amount of games dwindle down. There's not many.
All
games
you need
left.
is one. All you need is
I know,
one.
I'm
now.
just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying our number looks good. East
Might
Carolina
happen in overtime here.
East Carolina, and this, I mean, first of all, now I feel great about the underhitting. East Carolina, South Florida. I put this on the card solely to be nice to Colby, and I'm regretting it. 10 a.m. on the West Coast. Your boys are catching 6.5. Colby, what are we doing?
Did you see what happened for East Carolina today? Memphis
I
got upset. That is in their region of the bracket. So if they pull this upset, they'll get they could be at a nice situation as they could potentially head to the AAC championship. And then also
jinx.
Yeah.
North Texas.
Colby's getting his dancing shoes out. He's already seeing a path.
Yeah. North Texas won against Tulane, which we needed because North Texas plays FAU really tough. And then Temple just upset SMU. It's getting fun. This is a simple play. It's this simple. South Florida's overrated. Schwartz has been coaching these boys up to win in the tournament, not in the regular season. The anti-Barnes. All right. So Mike Schwartz and East Carolina are not only are they going to cover, they're alive to win it outright.
And may the Schwartz spirit
I told you I regretted putting this.
I mean, Ryan, if you're looking at the conference metrics, there's nothing. There's nothing that suggests East Carolina.
Their offense is great. It's literally the worst offense in the conference.
Colby, walk me through how ECU is going to pull this off.
Did you just see South Florida at Tulsa?
Yeah,
South
They
Florida
lost.
didn't look good.
Guess who East Carolina has won 5 straight against? Tulsa. This is a perfect spot. This is an absolutely perfect spot because everyone's thinking South Florida is going to get there now that Memphis is gone. South Florida is asleep at the wheel, and the Pirates are. Look, I know you see, 3-7 their last 10 games, but they should have beat SMU in Dallas. SMU, although they lost today, was one of the higher seeds. So I just think in general, with the way ECU got 4 or 5 veterans. Amir Abdul-Rahim for South Florida. He's in year 1. He's still learning, right? Schwartz has been there a couple years there in Greenville. And I can tell you that this game being played in Texas is a win for ECU. If it was in Atlanta, if it was in Florida, maybe that'd be a little scary. In Texas, oh yeah, we got this one all day. Let's go. Ride
Sean,
that money line.
You know what the home arena of the South Florida Bulls is called?
No.
The Yingling Center.
Oh, really? Wow, that's an amazing name.
South Florida,
I
lay the points.
I didn't know Florida got Yingling all the way down there.
I guess
Ryan, you don't believe in ECU?
No, I mean that was one of the worst performances I've ever seen Colby put on. He didn't believe a word of that.
Really? Well, at least we won a tournament game. How your Hokies doing, buddy?
Who's
All right.
we? What are we? I mean,
What do you mean? We believe.
East Carolina fan.
We. That's we. That's we, motherfucker.
East Carolina fan.
I mean,
I'll take East Carolina just to ride with Colby.
these baby conferences.
Give me the +6.5.
South Florida laying 6.5. Come on, always gonna fade Colby in this spot. Mississippi State, nice win for Hail State. They were a little dicey at times. 10 a.m. on the West Coast in Nashville against Tennessee. Kind of just instinctually seems like a tough spot here for Mississippi State, but
Is this line out there?
10.5.
Yes.
That's a real line.
Yeah.
It's not a
Real
projected
line.
Yep. Tennessee minus 10.5. Yeah, I don't know. I think I commented to Sean as we were watching the game today. Mississippi State just, how could they be so long and athletic and just be so bad at basketball? LSU is not a good team, so I don't think I'm going to take much away from them dragging LSU to the deep water and having their way with them. But this just seems like Tennessee at home, Coronation, like they're going to win a game or two in the conference tournament. The choke job again comes next week. Give me Tennessee. Lay the points.
No, I'm with you. I mean, again, Barnes' time to blow this thing is gonna. You got to build the expectations up. You got to convince people, hey, this year is different for Tennessee basketball. They got Connect. They're gonna be good. They're not gonna collapse under the pressure. And
Dalton
then they
Connect
will.
is a great name.
Yeah, it is. It's a fun watch.
I see 10s out there too. If we for the record.
Yeah, we can lay. I'll lay the points here. Colby, what are you doing?
Yeah, unfortunately, this is in Nashville because I think if it was in any other state, Mississippi State beat them, and they play that style of ball that fucks with Tennessee. But this is a road game, and Mississippi State on the road. If this was in Atlanta, I'd be all over Mississippi State. But this is a true road game, basically. You got to lay the number because Mississippi State can't score in a road environment.
No, and Tennessee's defense is pretty good. So I think it's going to be kind of an ugly game.
And remember, this is being played at the Bridgestone Arena. Remember, not a basketball arena. So maybe that pops its silly head up when the get a little moisture on the court situation.
Ryan keeps rooting for condensation to ruin one of these games.
Did Cut get the condensation bet up yet? Wichita State. Why are we doing multiple conference game or tourney games from this little baby conference here? Wichita State, UAB. I do love a good dragon. Blazers -4.5.
I mean, if you're a UAB, where's welcome to UAB? He had to be dancing when Memphis lost. Yeah, I think UAB covers this. I'm laying the 4.5. I think Wichita just had their huge win. They've been inconsistent all year. UAB would have gotten what they probably would have lost to Memphis by 30. Wichita, for some reason, played Memphis tough all year. So it was just a horrible draw for Memphis. And no,
this is the perfect spot for UAB. It does feel like Wichita State dumped the Gatorade with that big win over Memphis. This is the time you want to play Wichita State. I mean, they're probably out there hanging out with Jerry Jones, getting all liquored up in the the Dallas Fort Worth area. So yeah, give me UAB -4.5. I think this is a great time.
Not worried about the fact that Wichita State did beat UAB this year, pretty recently on
revenge
the road.
Factor, Ryan.
Not worried at all, Colby.
No, I think I can trust Kennedy there. He does a good job.
Oh yeah, anytime you get a Kennedy down in the Dallas area, you got to feel good about it yourself.
Actually, shit, we should take Wichita.
Yeah, give me a shocker. Give me the Shockers.
You're taking the Shocker.
Give me the Shockers. Which of course it's a wheat we're referring to, not jamming fingers inside of people.
Oh, Ryan, this is a kid show.
I was clear.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
And I said it in a PG way. You don't know if I could be talking about a wet willy. 12:30 p.m. on the West Coast. We're back into the SEC, where the Gamecocks of South Carolina, they're taking on Auburn. I saw Bruce Pearl in attendance doing a little scouting. He always looks like he's holding his breath and sitting forward. It just constantly looks like his blood cells are struggling to circulate. Auburn laying a big number here, away from the jungle, -7.5. Thoughts, Colby?
South Carolina lock.
Yes,
Ooh.
I love this.
They lost by 40 at the jungle. There was, whatever the fuck it was. It was.
Oh no, you're right. 40. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, it was disrespectful, and to me, South Carolina's got more veterans than Auburn does now. I know they weren't always on South Carolina, but they're veterans in college basketball. They remember that shit. I'm all over the 7.5. I think the money line's live here. Auburn's a different team away from the jungle.
Yeah, and South Carolina, I don't know why they're flying under the radar. I mean, they were 65-1 to win the SEC tournament. Again, they took care of Arkansas, no problem there. They've only lost 6 games this season. And to your point, yeah, that 40-point Auburn loss has got to piss them off. They're going to be live dogs 100%. I think this is personal. So I love South Carolina in this spot.
I don't know. It's the same story for South Carolina. They have to, the 3 ball has to fall, and Auburn defends the 3-point line well. I'm going to lay the points with Auburn.
By the way, did you guys catch the Atlantic 10? What happened today?
I mean, best. I would vote that's the best tournament so far. of all 32.
Ooh,
31.
I don't know, because the Mountain West has had like every game's gone to overtime, right?
But Atlanta 8-10, it's been right there.
Josh, can you show that scoreboard of the games that happened today in the A10? Look at that. How's that for you? March is here. Look at that. 9 seed, 5 seed, 7 seed, 6 seed, all winning. All the dogs won.
The Bonnies over Loyola. That was the game I watched the most, I think. Because
they had no business winning that game. Unbelievable.
No. Dude,
unbelievable.
The overtime was crazy. It was a wild. Just wild day of basketball in general.
Gotta feel good if you're VCU right now.
Oh,
honestly,
maybe St. Joe's. Maybe St. Joe's.
I was gonna say the team that's playing the best though is St. Joe's for me.
Yeah. But
and they just won me a shitload of money accidentally this morning. Shout out to St. Joe's. I might have to but I feel like I'm obligated to put a ridiculous bet on St. Joe's in their next game. Stay tuned.
Let it ride, Ryan.
Kent State, Bowling
Heard
Green,
that somewhere.
Mac. We're in Cleveland, 2 p.m. on the West Coast.
Oh wait, Ryan, why'd you say Villanova is done? The game's in overtime.
What?
Yeah.
That have you been up and paying attention? That's what the shot we were talking about that didn't count.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, Colby. Oh no.
No, you told me Villanova got knocked out. I thought they lost the game.
apologize because we were talking about the buzzer beater.
I missed your apology.
Being against Villanova. And then the chat was like, no, not good. The time wasn't good. Colby was doing that real time. Anyway, Kent State, Bowling Green, Kent State. I think did we not like call this out? We're like, oh, really? The 8 seeds odds are pretty close to the 1 seed. That must mean something. It wasn't enough for me to take Kent State, unfortunately. Kent State got the upset, and now they're laying points. The Maction is out of control. What are you doing here, Colby?
No, I'm all over Bowling Green. Kent State just beat a rival. You just beat a rival.
Favored?
And both teams are. I guess that Kent State's going to have the crowd because it's not that far. But Bowling Green is basically in Kentucky. But I think Todd Simon and Bowling Green are catching them in a good spot because you just beat your rival, dominated the game. I was on both these sides correctly today, and I think Bowling Green's flying under the radar a little bit. I think like the fact brand new head coach coming in from Southern Utah. I know they're 19-12, but like down the stretch they struggled a little bit, and I think people think that they're not that good. I think actually the money's going to come on Kent State if I had to bet.
Yeah, I'm going to just keep riding that idea of fading teams after beating their rivals. So I'm with you. I'll hop on Bowling Green here, although a little worried about some of the Bowling Green advanced metrics, but I don't know. Kent State isn't amazing either. Kent State can hit the 3 ball. I think if they get the win, that's going to be the difference.
Yeah. It's certainly a fun story. They're laying the point. Doesn't Kent State laying the points tell you everything you need to know? That I'm going to lay it with them. I'm riding. They were definitely, neither one of these teams was impressive today. That's my real takeaway. St. John's heads to New York. Wait, they're already there with the vampire himself. This is going to be a great sideline watching matchup. Dan Hurley.
They're going to dump a Gatorade jug full of blood on the winning head coach here.
Well, for different reasons. Dan Hurley probably likes the iron.
Oh yeah, Dan Hurley. If there's anyone that would get busted for whatever the stem cells from babies, it might be Dan Hurley. Yeah, just grade A psycho.
You think he's cracking baby spines? He's doing lines of baby spines. St. John's, UConn. Per the head coach of St. John's, they're going to need 6 guys on UConn to get COVID. Boy, if we wake up with a strange medical situation, it's gonna be not a good look, Rick. He's gonna have an alibi though. He was at the diner all night having 30-second meals one at a time. UConn laying 9.5. They're just so good.
I know, but both times, St. John's hung with them. at home, they only beat UConn, UConn only beat St. John's at home by 4 points. And then what was it's
a home game for UConn.
Yeah, at St. John, so they beat them by 13.
No, I'm saying like this is a home game for UConn.
Yes.
That's why it's tough. It's the one team that St. John's doesn't have the home court in the Garden against. So much so that Pitino wants to change the scheduling going forward to not play them in the Garden. That there's got to be a psychological edge there. And if I mean, I would imagine Hurley wants to beat Pitino as much as he wants to beat anyone in the nation. Just in general, I'd want to beat Pitino constantly if I was going against him. So yeah, I mean, UConn will be up, and the reality is their second string is probably fine, just fine to deal with the St. John's team. St. John's is going to be a team where it's like, oh man, big step up in class.
Yeah, I don't know. I want St. John's to pull this out, but man, UConn is just so good. Colby, do you think St. John's has a chance here?
Yeah, Rick Pitino, you're not going to beat him 3 times. All right. You fools took Seton Hall today. You're going to eat shit again tomorrow. All right. Rick Pitino perfectly says that I need 6 of their guys to get COVID. That is perfect shit.
I did
to say.
like that.
Perfect shit to say to your team. Not only are they going to cover, they're going to win the game outright because St. John's hasn't been this far in the Big East tournament in over a decade. All right. This place, everyone thinks it's going to be a UConn crowd. I think it's going to be a Johnny crowd.
Johnny cakes. Yeah, I mean, this St. John's team does have a high ceiling, so I'm certainly going to be rooting for them to pull off the upset. So may as well get on them here at +9.5. Kramer, I assume you're just laying the points with UConn.
Yep.
Okay.
Wait, come on. We just talked about this. Don't fall in love with the team you just watched.
No,
UConn's
it was
so
done.
good. UConn's
Did
done.
they lose on another buzzer beater?
No, it's over. They lost those.
All right, rest in peace, Sean. Now you can also be free. All your teams are dead officially.
Yeah.
He's got Temple. He's got Temple.
Free agent in Vegas.
Temple might make it.
Free agent in Vegas, Sean. It's nice when you don't have allegiances. Pittsburgh, North Carolina. We're in DC, of course, ACC country. I think DC is the beginning of Tobacco Road, correct, Colby? Pitt. Not a ton of takeaways from the game today. They were playing an inferior opponent. UNC certainly deserves to be laying a big number here. I got the future on Pitt, Colby. So I'm going to be riding them with the points here, but I'm not very terrified of this one. Feels like this could be an absolute blowout.
No, I'm on Pitt, man. They're in the desperate spot. Carolina is playing just to play, and like Pitt has played well.
I don't know, but they looked really awesome against Florida State.
Florida
like if
State sucks,
yeah, Florida State's horrible. Yeah.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like to me, I didn't see any taking the foot off the gas from this UNC team. I understand they don't need it, but they tell that to those kids on that hardwood, Colby, because they were playing their ass off. I think UNC fucks them up. I think this UNC team's pretty good.
Pitt's proven this year that they can win, and they're actually to me one of the best teams in the ACC at winning elsewhere. Like you look, they won at Cameron Indoor Stadium. They won at UVA.
They've been great on the road. ATS.
That's what I'm saying, and that's why I like it is because that in a neutral setting, I feel like Pitt is a really dangerous team.
16-1 future. I'm not hopping off now. Give me Pitt. I mean, to Colby's point, watching that Wake Forest game, there's not a ton of spectacular, but Wake's a pretty good team. They beat Wake pretty solid there. So once again, maybe we can. Jeff Capel. I just never in a million years would have thought I'd be betting on Jeff Capel this year in March. Texas Tech off of a very nice win, even though there's a Temple in Missouri. The BYU still managed to lose a basketball game. They're now taking on Houston, who looks like they're trying to win all the games.
Jay Bellis was ready to lock up Houston for what they did to did to TCU.
Laying 8.5 here against Texas Tech. That Houston is just like UConn. They're just a step. There's a tier that's slightly above all the other teams, and I think the more you watch the games, the more you realize that the real difference is just what happens when their bench comes out. And
Houston's
both these teams are incredibly deep, and that they dominate teams when it's their twos versus the other teams.
Houston, I think, is going to destroy them because you saw it with Texas Tech. Like You look at the score, you look at some of the numbers, you're like, wow, they really dominated BYU. But if you're actually watching that game, like BYU got up a bunch of shots, they moved the ball well on them. It was just, you could tell the BYU kids' legs were just, it was a lot of front rim. I thought the opportunities were there for BYU, and BYU's defense was just soft as shit. I think that game before really, really wore them down. So I think Houston is just going to destroy Texas.
There was a play where the Texas Tech kid jumped from a spot where you could tell the BYU kid was not expecting his corner three to get rejected, and it got blocked back into the crowd. And it was just like, oh, it's one of those games. Like, it's just different level of athleticism. Yeah, I mean, Colby, you're not going to disagree and take Texas Tech, are you?
No, I just think back-to-back games, they had their problems scoring. They're never consistent scoring. Houston is, and I think Houston, I'll lay the 8.5. I just think they're the better team here. I don't think they'll have a home edge or anything. And then you add in the fact that they play their defensive teams first, and then one team's offense is much worse than the other team's. I just think Houston's going to roll here.
Yeah, I just, a lot of advantages for Houston. Wait, another chalk, another piece, a little minus sign for me. I got a couple dogs. I'm safe.
Really?
Yeah, I got a couple. Ohio, Akron, Cleveland, Ohio. This is one of those semifinal matchups where we say, well, this is the championship. Whoever wins this game is gonna get it done. Ohio, Akron. I don't believe we have a number out there. Maybe the chat can correct us, but Prick Dundee projects this one to be. His numbers had Ohio laying the points, but flip that around because Akron has a little bit of an edge here in terms of potentially the crowd. Akron laying 1. Colby.
Yeah, give me Ohio. I mean, Akron struggled today for most of that game. I felt like you got a lucky cover. Late in that game, they opened it up. They didn't look good though. Ohio has been a fucking force. So
I'm with you, Colby. I mean, I liked Ohio to win the MAC. Nothing has really changed, and part of winning the MAC is going to be beating Akron here.
Now the Akron will have the crowd. They will have that crowd, and that's the only concerning factor. But I think Ohio is playing better basketball right now. And
we got a line. We got a line. Yeah. Akron minus 3.5. Man,
wow.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Ohio. Now I even like it even more.
I mean, I guess you can say it was a lucky cover in the game today. It did seem like they kind of handled their business in the second half. I got the Zips future. I'm certainly not going to jump over to these filthy Bobcats. You didn't even play the cat sound effect. Is a Bobcat make the sound? I don't think a Bobcat makes that sound. No, I'm on Akron. You guys are crazy.
Crazy like a fox, Ryan.
I think you guys had Ohio futures though, so you're just being biased to your futures.
No, but I didn't see anything in that Akron game that took me off of it.
What about? I mean,
what happened? Colby?
What just happened?
Just Georgia stole the ball, but the idiot went up for a shot. Should have passed it. They're down 3, and they had an inbounds pass. They stole the ball, and it would have been a perfect setup, but he decided to airball it. It was exciting though.
It sounds like it, and your description was also exciting. So all right, I'm on Akron. You guys are on Ohio. Oregon, Arizona. Unfortunately, the LA schools have all decided they're gonna end their seasons. USC got absolutely thumped by Arizona.
USC was like a dark horse. Like, hey, look out! They can go on a tournament run.
No, thank you. I mean, that team wanted nothing to do with extra basketball. UCLA, Oregon, good game, but a little bit of a heartbreaker there. Oregon catching 11 here against the Wildcats of Arizona. Arizona's good. I realized as I was watching Arizona that I had not watched a ton of Arizona this year because they hide their games on the Pac-12 network, and they're also good, potentially in that top tier with UConn and Houston for me. So tell me why I shouldn't lay the points, Colby.
I mean, this is kind of like the South Carolina play. Oregon got destroyed in Tucson recently. I know the final score I think was only 20, but it was like 40 at one point or 35. Oregon's a weird team, man, because they're better than their record as far as like their roster. They haven't really put it together this year. It's been a really hard team to understand. But
I thought UCLA hung with them, and I wasn't super impressed by what I saw out of Oregon in that game against UCLA. Like that, they should have put. To your point, like they had the roster and the horses to really put that UCLA team away, and they let them hang around. They only won by 2 points.
Here's what you gotta love: is Arizona had just lost to USC, so I think that was a get up spot for Arizona, with USC beating Arizona the other night. So I think it was a revenge. So I think it's a little bit of a letdown spot for Arizona. Give me the Ducks and the points. Dana Altman.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna retire soon. I think this could be a big spot for his boys to get up there in Vegas. Give me the
I feel
points.
like a lot of people cite his coaching as the reason Oregon could go on a run in a tournament setting. So,
well, I mean,
it's
not like Tommy Lloyd's had a lot of postseason success. So, I mean, clear advantage to Dana Altman in Oregon, I would say.
No, that's what I mean. I'm going to take I guess I'll. Actually, you know what? I'm going to be with Sean. I was just giving you the whole Arizona's on a different level.
No, I think Arizona, unfortunately for them, they're playing it just like they did it last year. They're going to dominate this Pac-12 tournament, and then they're going to get
choke.
They're going to screw it up or in the early real tournament. We were having the analysis of like, oh, maybe they're going to come in and almost want to get eliminated early, get that loss out of the way, get rested, get ready for the real tournament, but I don't know. I don't get those vibes, and I just don't think Oregon. I don't know. They didn't really. Not. I just wasn't impressed by their game against UCLA.
Yeah, I mean, rumor has it they do teach you how to choke at the University of Arizona. Rumor has it. All right. By the way, did you know Mick Cronin's buyout is $20 million? That's insane. Like that's very high for college basketball.
I mean, that's a weekend in Louisville, though.
No, I understand, but I went on a deep dive of buyouts in college basketball, and like outside of Coach Cal's $40 million, $20 million, like his $20 million buyout is massive.
All they have to do is just call Papa John back, give him the season tickets. All right, and get 20 million, and Mick Cronin's the next coach at Louisville.
Yeah, well, it does seem like that's a possibility here.
Papa's in the house.
Oh man, Papa John, what a time when he was the minister of culture for Louisville for a little bit there. San Diego State, Utah State, Danny Sprinkle coming off that regular season championship, now taking on our gals coming off that overtime win against the UNLV team that had been playing real good ball of late. 6:30 on the West Coast.
It's annoying because UNLV they would have been a fun team to see in the tournament. Unfortunate they couldn't get it done.
Yeah,
against San Diego
State. Of a team are they? They're like I love their talent, but they're a dumb team. They're a dumb team. They should have won that game in overtime today. Like not probably got lucky to get it to overtime, but once it got to overtime, they had a 4-point lead with like a minute 10 left. I thought it was one of the most mismanaged games of the day. From a coaching and roster standpoint, it's just basically one guy taking on the whole team. And it's like, dude, you have guys open everywhere. Just fucking pass the ball, call a timeout, get some structure on offense here.
It's college basketball for you though.
Well, it's interesting because Utah State and San Diego State both coming in overtime wins. Utah State, I mean, Fresno State almost shocked the world there, knocking them off. And then they seem to wake up there in overtime, but both teams coming in playing pretty well here. So wait, just to confirm, San Diego State's favored 3.5.
Yes.
Chat will tell us if we're
I'm just trying to wrap my head around.
They were the odds-on favorite to win. They're the odds-on favorite to win the conference, despite being the 5 seed. That's a lot of it.
I know. I got a future in my pocket.
Yeah, it's a great spot. It's a great spot for the Aztecs.
Yeah.
You like the Aztecs?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Utah State gets so many wins because of Logan. You know what I mean? Like that going up to Logan, that place is super lit. So I feel like when they go on the road, they struggle a little bit, and then you play in San Diego State, who I think is like still the best team in the conference.
So Fresno was a bad team, like I think that was one where like Utah State had to dig deep to come out with that one. They needed the overtime, and they stretched the lead out in overtime, but Fresno was a bad team. They let that bad team, and I don't know if you watched the game, but they switched. This is classic college basketball. They switched to a 1-3-1 zone. Utah State had no fucking clue what to do, and it was so quiet in the arena. You could hear. So yeah, I don't know if the Mormons are going in Vegas. You could hear the coach screaming at them, like basically on what to do. They had no answer. It wasn't until overtime they made some adjustments. They were able to start getting the ball going through their big man again. But
I will say this is like turning into a great rivalry. Like the hatred between both fan bases.
No, I would just say that, to me, Utah State, like they had to play their best game against a really bad team.
But it's that classic thing we saw with Vermont early on, Colgate. Sometimes these dominant teams, when they get tested by someone, then the next game they're like, "Holy shit, we got to wake up!" Like they're almost in cruise control.
But these are Utah State is not that dominant team.
That's true. San Diego State's defense is too good. I'll ride with our gals.
It's a talent thing. They're gonna win and not cover. That's my.
I know it's annoying that it's 4 because this. I mean, how can you not want to take points in these Mountain West games considering how close they've been?
Especially San Diego State games because they don't score a lot.
No, and I was talking to Decker. He was like, he goes, I know you guys are going to play all the first half unders, but maybe just play San Diego State's first half unders because they are just super ugly, especially in the first half. Hey, speaking of that, UnderdogFantasy.com, the heater continues. Nice work, Colby, setting us up. We got the formula.
Don't go double up. No matter even
don't
if it
press
seems
it.
like it. Don't press.
I was actually gonna consider a last minute press, Ryan, and sneak it in without you knowing, but I didn't. I played it straight. That's why we won.
Nice.
We coming off another 2 for 2. Joel Soriano hit the higher 11.5 points. He got 14, and Micah Parrish just a complete no show. 15.5 PRA lower. He only got 8. So that was a sweet cash. 100 brought back $300 over at Underdog Fantasy. Promo code SGPN. Deposit 100, get essentially a free 100 via the deposit match. I don't know why you wouldn't want to get in on these. They're super fun. Add to the sweat. Colby, what do we like for Friday night, Friday day? What are we doing here?
We got.
They don't have anything right now, but they will. They will. And Cannabis Capper's been writing some fire articles. Yes. Shout out to Cannabis Capper. Yeah.
Cannabis Capper.
Woo! It's smoking my weed.
All right. Should I fire off an NBA lineup?
I mean, if you want, that's on you.
Never heard of that.
All right.
The NBA Underdog Fantasy I've heard of.
Okay. Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN. No lineups because people don't like free winners. Actually, I'll throw this one out. Take Joker. Joker on a double.
Right, now I gotta play this bullshit just in case.
Oh wait, no, hold on, that's lower. Never mind. I'll take Joker higher, 24.5 points. Think that's a pretty good spot for them. It's a neutral site game. We also got are any of the Pelicans guys? Okay, here's another one I like. Jimmy Butler to get a double higher. And that's a 3x spicy. They're squaring off against the Pistons. That's all you need, Ryan. Just Joker to get 25 points and Jimmy Butler to get a double. 100 wins you $900.
I have to. I'm gonna burn.
Oh my god!
What's
Underdog Fantasy promo code SGPN.
What's up with Jimmy Butler's profile picture? I haven't been tuned into the NBA.
No, you didn't see that. He does a
looks like a chick.
UnderdogFantasy.com promo code SGPN 100% deposit match. No, he does a goofy hair every time for NBA Media Day. It's actually pretty funny. And this year he did like a flock of seagulls guy.
Okay.
So he looks like
It was a bit.
all the NBA. Yeah, it's a joke. All the NBA profile photos, he has this crazy flock of seagulls hair that they have to use for media. It's great.
I didn't know if he was maybe trying to lash out at his dad. Maybe it was a message to Michael.
You abandoned me.
Cry for help. All right. So because we are not going to be reconvening on the podcast before Saturday, we will be live
on
VSiN.
VSiN. So if you want some picks, Colby will be calling in VSiN.com. Check us out. 6 o'clock West Coast, 9 o'clock on the East. Going to be a bunch of great games. Breaking them down live and then previewing stuff for Saturday as well.
Colby will also, I'm sure, be talking about all the games on his podcast, The College Basketball Experience. I think they go live every night, maybe. UMass. All right, so we got a couple games on the schedule here. UMass, Lowell or Lowell, as they keep winning. Sean, they're the gift that keeps on giving. This is actually being played. The championship for the American East is, of course, remember, home courts are involved. So Vermont's at home.
Catamounts.
No line out yet. We're projecting 7.5 for the Catamounts. I assume we're just laying the points and moving on with our life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
System is in effect.
Yeah.
I got foolish with taking Lehigh against Colgate. Colgate and Vermont have been system plays for like a decade.
Yeah.
Stick to the system. Going back to the system.
Done.
No, I know. I got cute too. I'll be laying the points with Vermont, but I would say they got their sweat out of the way. Albany Great Danes gave them all they could ask for. They really almost messed that game up, but they roll against UMass here.
The A10 little rest day for the guys. The semifinal teams get Friday off, so we head over to Saturday where St. Joe's VCU laying 2. We were kind of talking about this earlier. St. Joe's playing good ball. I hate you don't get up from a hot table, but you're also not supposed to fall in love with the table just because it was hot. So I'm stuck in the middle. But I told you earlier, this St. Joe's team, I like them. This has been a fun tournament. Everything that you want in March, Colby. It might not be as many upsets, but every one of these games, it feels, has been relatively close. And there's just been juice in the building. And it could just be the slightly crappy audio quality. I don't know what it is, but the A10 tourney's been electric. Anyway,
You say not that many upsets? Are you being sarcastic?
No, earlier you challenged my saying A10 was the best tournament. Oh no, what were we talking? Oh no, you backed me up. Never mind. You showed a graphic that supported me. We were arguing about something else.
Smoking that weed.
Maybe.
Woo, it's smoking my weed.
Anyway, I'm on St. Joe's plus the points, plus the 2. Project.
I'm with you. I think the fact that VCU just beat him in a close game, I think helps the motivation for St. Joe's. But I mean, this is probably the hardest game we've had to project because I expect this to be tied up with 2 minutes left, and may the best man win. But I think St. Joe's has the revenge factor. I also think they're the more talented team when they're on. When they're on, they can beat anyone in the A10. Now the problem is
I'm sticking with VCU. Again, look at their
culture play. That's a culture play. Yeah.
78.1% from the line, the VCU offense. You're talking about these tight spreads, getting the front end of those 1-and-1s. That's the shit that makes the difference. And VCU,
they do have a coaching edge. VCU certainly has the coaching edge.
No, I know. I want to fall in love with this St. Joe's team. I just can't quite get there. They're very similar teams, at least like how they were coming in, both struggling a little bit, and then beat some teams they probably, they should take care of. Yeah, I'll take VCU laying 2. I liked how they looked against UMass.
Philly again.
Yep, one more time.
My God, Colby, you see what's going on here? They've start paying running backs, and he rethinks everything. All right, one more. We're going off the board. St. Bonaventure, Duquesne, the other semifinal matchup in the A10, 12:30 p.m. on the West Coast. We got a projected number of Duquesne by 1. as Colby mentioned, the Bonnies have no business being alive, and yet here we are, which makes me want to take.
But also Duquesne. I mean, they're not a great team, but St. Bonnie's felt like they dumped the Gatorade a bit, or at least probably will after that win, right? I mean, what are you doing here, Colby?
I like the Bonnies, but the clear coaching advantage.
Yeah,
clear coaching advantage with the Bonnies, and to me, they played very poised down the stretch. Now I think they still stole that game, but I thought I was impressed with how poised they, the extra pass when they needed to.
That's it. Like some of these teams, they don't practice the important shit. And they like it's so clear when you watch some of the. I'm telling you, when I watched Utah State have no fucking clue what to do when Fresno made a slight tweak to their defense, it's unbelievable. This is a well coached team, Division I sports. Anyway, yeah, the Bonnies were well prepared.
Duquesne's the better roster, but I think just that doesn't always win in college basketball. Exhibit A is Kentucky over the past 5 years.
St. Bonaventure has the
I liked what I saw out of the Bonnies, the scrappiness.
Number
coaching.
One in experience, according to Ken Palm. So.
Yeah, this is I mean, I hope they win it all. That would be a fun team to see in the tournament.
I mean, you saw it today. Daryl Banks hitting huge fucking shots. You remember Daryl Banks? He's on the Bonnies now, but he was on that. He was a key player on that St. Peter's Peacocks team that went to the Elite Eight.
Who can forget another
him.
Great team from New Jersey?
Say consensus player on the Bonnies catching the point. I mean, Duquesne being favored, it just doesn't make sense.
All right, so the couple more games for Saturday, heading into the Ivy League tournament. They don't mess around. They stay real classic. Give me the top 4 teams, and we'll figure it out from there. It's being played on the home campus of Columbia. Took a little bit of research to figure all this out. Princeton, the 1 seed, is even money in the odds. Yale, the 2 seed, is plus 180. Then a decent drop to Cornell, the 3 seed, at plus 390, and then Brown, who seems like they this is like a college football playoff situation, Sean, where we have 3 teams that belong and 1 team that doesn't. Brown plus 1,500 on the futures market.
So Brown, Cincinnati in this example.
I think so. Yeah.
But Brown has won 6 straight to end the season, so watch out. But the value is Yale. Yale was the 1 seed last year. Princeton obviously went on that Sweet 16 run and beat that Arizona team that Kramer's about to crown national champions.
You want to crown them? Crown 'em.
That I just think Yale's been carrying this chip on their shoulder all year. Yeah. Yale was the 1 seed last year. They got upset by Princeton. I think it's a great revenge spot, and they get plus 180. I mean, Cornell's not a horrible play. If you can't take Brown, because even though Brown's won 6 straight, I doubt they win both. They could upset. They could maybe win 1, but I'm going to go Yale just because.
If they win 1, it'll feel like they won their Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Ah, man.
Yeah. Is that what you're predicting? That
No. I'm just saying. To Colby's point, like upsetting Princeton because they are they're laying 11 points. They're kind of the consensus team.
They went on a run. They went on a run, like Colby said, but they didn't. They lost to Princeton twice this year.
Yes.
So, yeah, I would.
They beat Yale in overtime at Yale, and then they lost by 10 at home. Man, this one's tough because it feels like it's just going to be Princeton. I mean, Princeton has some good players.
They lost to Yale and Cornell on the road.
I feel like doesn't Ivy League usually go chalky, Colby?
Not last year. Yeah, Yale was the 1 seed. Princeton. No, I actually think it's always kind of like maybe some years the 1 seeds, but I feel like the 2 seeds win it a lot too.
I'm just impressed Colby didn't take 2 teams in the Ivy League out of 4.
Princeton is sitting on the nation's 5th longest winning streak.
You know why, Sean, right?
Why?
They canceled their basketball and football season during COVID.
I know.
You forced me to pick this shit conference. Yeah.
Oh, I'm very sorry. We should skip.
They canceled it in 2020 and 2021, right?
Yeah,
and they were like the first
worst
one to cancel it.
They're the
in
worst.
Your Ivy Towers, literally.
Remember they came back and they had the team playing with the mask. The whole team was playing with the fucking mask.
That was very funny.
Very youth sports.
Didn't someone who was the writer that crowned them national champions?
Yeah.
For
Oh,
not
it's that.
playing?
No, it's that piece of shit. Dan Wolken. Yeah.
Oh,
Dan
Colby has a
Wolken.
list. He's in Colby.
Yeah.
Shout out to our new subscriber Dan
Yeah.
Wolken. Leave us a 5-star rating and review. I'm gonna actually just go Princeton.
Yep.
That's
Even
I
money
mean, look,
actually
they've
feels
been
good.
fire all year. It's gonna be fun to watch. That if they get Yale, that'll be a fun one to watch.
Sean, do we put a little insurance sprinkle on the 15-1 Princeton? What's the money line for the game going to be? Like 5-1, 4.5-1, 420 probably.
Yeah,
we'll just say 420. I'm also on Princeton. Come on, chalk's always been good to me.
yeah. I mean this one I'm going chalky. Princeton actually has a couple guys, so I'm doing it. Kramer, what do we got for the Saturday plays?
Brown, the 4 seed, Princeton, the 1 seed, 11 a.m. here on the West Coast. Princeton laying 11. I think these are projected numbers as well.
I mean, Princeton beat them both times they played, but it wasn't neither time would they have covered that number. Brown lost by 9 and then lost by 10 at home. 9 on the road, 10 at home. They're making it 11. They're making you think.
Just go look at the free throw percentages, Sean.
Oh, am I about to get rock hard?
Well, it's a team.
They still run the Princeton offense.
Brown. The only thing they do.
I do
well,
that joke every year.
It's good. I get
the same half laugh from Colby.
It's like asking about a Boeheim brother. They rely on
80.9%. Brown shoots 65% from the line. What do they don't teach physics at Brown? You can't figure out how to get your fucking stupid eggheads to shoot 70% from the line.
This is the ultimate white guy team. They don't turn the ball over. They shoot a high percentage. They hit their free throws.
Well, what's Brown?
Chris Berman's alma mater. That's what Brown is.
I'm taking Princeton.
Also,
no, I'm on Brown.
My dad's alma mater, but
yeah.
I'm gonna fade the shit out of them here because they're not a good. They're not the same quality of Princeton.
Colby, why are you taking Brown? What do you like about him?
Well, they got that 6-game win streak and they won at Cornell and at Yale. I think Yale and Cornell are just as good as Princeton, so they're really playing at a high level right now. I'll take the points. They might not win the game, but that's too many points.
It's really not a good matchup for Brown. Cornell, Yale. This is the game of the semifinal. Yale laying a point projected 2 p.m. on the West Coast. Very interesting matchup here. The futures odds are a wider gap than the spread would indicate here. Yale, to your point, Colby, Yale is the team with the typical class, but they've dropped some games down the stretch here, and one of those games was to Cornell.
Yeah, by 3. It was look. This one has a shot to shatter your little your buzzer beater shit. All right, because I think it's coming down.
How are you predicting a buzzer beater?
Oh well, because I'm sharp. Did you see me say UNLV would cover and San Diego State would win?
UNLV.
I was only working with the 4-point spread. I said San Diego State wins.
You did.
UNLV covers. All right.
Yes.
Your
medal's in the mail, Colby.
Oh no, it's right here. Hang on.
Your little buzzer beater bet. He's
really angry that I bet against buzzer beaters. Oh wow, you got a little.
What is this? What is this?
This is my Tecmo Super Bowl medal.
Oh, nice.
And
remember when I beat Colby in Tecmo Super Bowl?
So
check the tape.
This is the best. I show up to a Tecmo Super Bowl tournament. That's at a bar. And I decided to get really shit hammered. Well, I was with Patty C, so we got really shit hammered. But the best was destroying these people that traveled.
Is there anyone sober at the Tecmo Super Bowl tournament?
Everyone was sober. They looked at me like I was a maniac. But you had people fly in from like Buffalo in Green Bay, and it was hilarious. Just because, dude, I played this one kid. This one kid's he's clearly young. He's clearly like an 18 or 20-year-old kid. And
great scouting report.
He busts out his lunchbox, right? He had a fucking sandwich planned, right? Meanwhile, I ordered another JMO shot, And then get this, I had the guy throw the controller at the wall because I ran the same run play 15 straight times on him.
Well,
the
there's
same
only
exact
8
run play.
plays. Why would he not start picking the play?
And it was so great too. He was so pissed off because I was only getting like 4 yards of carry, but I was like, I'm gonna go all the way down the field and score a touchdown on you.
I love how
right?
even in Tecmo Super Bowl, Colby pounds the rock 3 yards in a cloud of dust. He's not. He actually had them adjust the game, Ryan, so that all 8 plays could be running plays.
This is like a Uncle Rico moment where he's
you want my medal?
He's throwing the football over the mountain repeatedly.
And these people had planned for it. I just found out that morning that there was a Tecmo Super Bowl tournament in LA, and old Dundee shows up and fucks up all these nerds.
Yeah, Colby, you don't have to explain to me how the awkwardness of dominating kids at a video game. I've been there before.
We need to pitch this.
Majority of the people were like 50 years old.
Colby, you've seen the movie Over the Top, right? Where,
of course,
where he goes and he's arm wrestling for what is he trying to like custody of his child or something?
Yeah.
What was the premise?
Yeah, I think it was to get his child back or to show off to his child or something like that.
Yeah,
they get enough money.
We need to write a similar version, but it's just Colby Tecmo Super Bowl to win like a college education.
Look, your dad's not a loser.
His son.
Your dad's a winner.
If your dad was a loser, he wouldn't have a medal in this van about how he was good at Tecmo Super Bowl. Your dad was a loser, he wouldn't have the best parking spot in the van down by the river. Son, there are guys parked way farther from the river. How do they can't bathe or cook in that river? They're too far away.
Sean, have you ever?
Yes.
I think honestly, if I was to die tonight, and I go up to heaven, and they were to ask me, what was your most satisfying thing that happened in your life? And I go, when that kid threw that controller at the wall and quit. He quit. He didn't even play the rest of the game. He was so pissed off. He was so pissed off that I had ran the same running play that many times. It was just, it was one of my favorite and look, I didn't wait the night before. I didn't even know it existed. It was just like, I eased into this thing, pissed off somebody. I mean, it pissed off a few people, but that guy specifically, really, really pissed off at my offense essentially.
I mean, again, I just would love to have been a fly on the wall. Maybe get some footage. There are these people.
Sean was actually, I think, supposed to go. I think I hit up Sean, but
I did.
It was at a bar on La Cienega in Hollywood. I'm trying to remember the name of the bar, but it was like La Cienega in Santa Monica.
Karma Lounge?
No. That's where I ran my comedy show. But no, this was La Cienega in Santa Monica. I know Kramer, you probably know. It's like is there a place called like Gold or not Golden West, but I don't know. Anyway, let's go.
There was a place called Gold Coast on Santa Monica in West Hollywood, but that it had a leather curtain for a door. I don't think they were playing Tecmo Super Bowl in there. There were a lot of dudes though.
Yeah.
Great.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Great parents visiting.
There was they were calling the tush push, but it wasn't. Had nothing to do with a quarterback sneak.
They're way ahead of their time. But yeah, taking the parents are visiting, walk with them out to get a meal, and we passed by this place. And it was one of those places that some shit was going down in there because there was like that smell of bleach coming out, like they're cleaning some shit up. And my mom just like kind of peeks her head inside and sees all the TVs and is like, "Is this where you watch football?" I go, "Absolutely not." Cornell, Yale -1. Yeah, I mean, this is the pace makes the game. Who wins the pace battle? Cornell versus Yale. Defense. Yale's a top 70 defense. Cornell's 161st. That makes me believe they're going to be able to slow the game down like they want it, and that's going to be the difference in the game. So give me Yale.
Colby, what are you doing? Cornell?
No, Yale.
Yeah.
Better defensive team. They've had the chip on the shoulder all year. I think they get it done against the big red freshmen.
Cornell is pretty good, but I'm with you guys. I'll take Yale laying the short number.
It's rare that if a team is better defensively and they prefer a much slower pace, they generally win that battle.
Yeah, I think this is a good spot. for Yale. I like the chip on the shoulder angle that Colby was running. So I'm with you. Give me Yale.
And reminder: the Ivy League is just a sports conference. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. People forget that. They think it's
What do
some
they
like
think it is?
elitist Illuminati thing.
Oh,
like
okay.
The schools are special in some way. No, just a sports conference.
Why didn't Cornell's here? So wait, what were the teams that didn't make it? Harvard didn't make the tournament.
Oh, those losers. They're Harvard, Columbia, the host, which is awkward. Penn, another team from Pennsylvania, and Dartmouth.
Remember
who,
that
by
Dartmouth,
the way, they unionized.
One of my favorite things is they unionized and then their leading scorer transferred.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know what kind of leverage Dartmouth basketball thinks they have against. Hey, this university is going to crumble if you don't have Dartmouth basketball. Hey, Alabama football. Maybe we have that conversation, but Dartmouth basketball.
Also worth noting.
Don't you guys have a business school there? Don't you know anything about fucking leverage? You idiots.
Well, also they pride themselves. I mean, the Ivy League's one distinction is that they don't give out athletic scholarships. So it's a weird team to unionize.
Yeah.
Considering they don't even get paid the free school directly for their sports.
They get a meal plan. What
they get grants and shit, but it's like they don't directly give sports scholarships. So it's like it's even more confusing. Anyway,
they might be smart, but you think any of in the Ivy League ever won a Tecla Super Bowl tournament?
No, I doubt it.
Unlikely that they.
What are they teaching? What are they teaching?
Probably more valuable stuff.
Oh wow, Kramer, he's right here. Hey, if you guys signed up with HOFBets.com or download the Hall of Fame Bets app, shout out to producer Josh, who is just going on a heater. Josh lives in North Carolina. Just got legalized some action, so he's been going crazy with the Hall of Fame Bets parlay optimizer. And it is paying pretty nice dividends. He just cashed a 12-1 and a 10-1 just using the tools over at HOFBets.com or Hall of Fame Bets. It's back to back. I think he had like 100 to win. 100 to win. 1,000, and then another one. Like just incredible heater. So shout out to you, producer Josh, and shout out to HOFBets.com helping you guys win, optimizing these parlays. The college basketball product's going to be here. That's going to be awesome. I mean, I know it's technically they don't offer props on Underdog Fantasy, but I imagine you'd be able to use similar prop like projections that Hall of Fame Bets has to maybe cash in over on Underdog Fantasy, because that's going to be super fun with college basketball, the tournament right around the corner. And then of course NBA is live right now. Soccer, get it. HOFBets.com. Use the promo code SGPN, 50% off your first month. So if you're like Josh, it's going to pay for itself in the first month. Hall of Fame Bets, bet smarter, not harder. Kramer, time for some locks, aka the best bets for March 15th. Are we doing 3 locks?
We could do. You want to do 2 or 3? I'll let Colby decide.
Colby, how many locks?
2 or 3?
3.
Colby just kissed his Tecmo Super Bowl medal.
We could figure out a way to get it like that feels like a gift right there. Just go right with the F line one where he's twirling the phone. All right, lock number 1. Man, Tennessee, I think is going to roll against Mississippi State. Mississippi State is just such a frustrating team. If the
are
team,
we calling that 10 or 10.5? We're calling it 10.
Yeah, it's 10 right now. I'm looking at it. I'm going to click submit after the show. Lock number 2, Purdue. Again, Michigan State. Not. I'm trying to. I'm maybe going too hard against this, but I'm trying to go against some teams that just it felt like they were playing against crappier teams and they didn't show up, and now they're playing against a really good team. So those are my 2 locks. I'm going to take a break from the locks to give you a dog because I don't have that many of them. I think it's Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh certainly live here. Once again, I'm doing something I never thought I would do with Jeff Capel, and again against North Carolina, it's gonna be scary. They looked all right today though. I'll give them that.
I think the chat E Arbo should give Underdog Fantasy a little try.
Oh, why? What's going on? Oh, I don't think Underdog is in. I think that's what he's referring to. I don't think they can. I think they're shy. And then lock number let's just keep the trend going. Give me the obvious bona fide stud teams. Houston -8.5. I'm taking Purdue. I left UConn off the board. Purdue, Tennessee, Houston laying the points for the locks. Pittsburgh on the money line for the dog. Next up.
Yeah. All right. So Tennessee -10.
Feel free to copy that.
I like that as well.
Pick. That's a great pick.
For my dog, give me South Carolina on the money line.
Well, that's a
Cox
cock.
shock the world.
It's a cock, not a dog.
Little cock dog. Let's see. I also, Vermont. It's chalky as hell, but Catamounts probably gonna roll that spot there. I'm on, and St. Bonaventure. Come on, I like them. Bonnies. I like the fight in that Bonnies team. Although I do like St. John's too. I mean, Patino. I feel like I'm gonna be betting that. So, do I lock it up? No, I'll stick with the Bonnies. So Tennessee -10. I'm with Kramer. I think they're just a much better team than Mississippi State. Vermont -7.5. They are inevitable. And then St. Bonaventure +1. South Carolina Gamecocks on the money line. Let's go, Colby.
Let's lock up South Carolina +7.5. Let's lock up UAB -4.5.
I like that as well.
Let's lock up St. John's +9.5.
These are all bad picks.
And let's take East Carolina on the motherfucking money line. All right. And I like a parlay. East Carolina money line with St. John's money line. Let's go.
Oh, I'll take the other side of that.
ECU St. John's money line parlay.
I'll take.
Don't fade the medallion. Don't fade the medallion. All right.
Don't let the medallions get hot.
Don't you dare call that a medallion.
Hey, check us out tonight if you're listening to this show on Friday on VSiN, 9:00 East, 6:00 Pacific. We'll be talking full slate of Saturday games with Colby. Got the man in the box himself, CJ talking a little NBA. We got some March Madness, betting commandments. Of course, we will be live on this very YouTube channel for a Selection Sunday show, breaking that down, talking March Madness betting strategies. Good times there. Toss us a nice rating review. March Madness, didn't even talk too much about it. And of course, keep sending in those applications. dgen.university for DGen University. March Madness, 15% off everything. First half unders, court storming shorts, TCE, campus edition. So much good stuff there. Promo code Madness. Bunch of new sweatpants as well. If you're a sweatpant user and aficionado, which I imagine this audience is.
It's the premier kit for watching games on Thursday and Friday.
It is. Yeah. Come on. What are you going to wear? Dress slacks to watch college basketball for 19 hours?
Question, Sean. Do you have a pair of sweatpants with a zipper on them?
Yes, I do. I'm wearing them right now.
It's just a sign that you know ball.
When are the SGP medallions coming?
We'll work on those. And we get the DGen University gear. Look at how sweet this hat is.
You know, when they graduate, Sean, they should get a medallion.
All right. I like that.
Let's go.
Kramer has a medallion.
No, we also have these random, I think maybe this could be DGen University related. Sean's just leaving the show. He's fed up with this. Maybe he's getting a medallion, but Colby, I don't know if you remember this. Let me see. We made a purchase a little while back with these Mike Leach poker chips.
Yes.
Kind of like a medallion, but oh my God, what is what is that?
Does he have a medallion?
This is like a hey, fuck me, I'm Irish medallion.
We all got medallions.
Yeah, St. Patrick's Day's right around the corner.
Oh, that's got to come to Vegas with you. Is that coming to Vegas with you?
What sucks about it is St. Patrick's Day happens before Vegas. It happens on Sunday.
Oh.
They messed it up this year
for Selection Sunday.
Okay, that's fair.
And maybe this and only this. My plan was just to rock this in a Lehigh jersey.
Oh, okay, but like
no shirt on
pants.
top, just the I'll wear pants.
Well, the audience isn't in the room with us.
What do you mean? They're going to be hanging out at the Westgate with us.
But we're not going to be there Sunday. Oh, you're saying you're going to wear just that on Thursday?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay. Sun's out, guns out.
Sun's out, guns out.
There might be someone in the audience who is like, all right, well, I wasn't going to get down to the Westgate,
but now I got to. Yeah. Thursday and Friday, we'll be hanging out at the Westgate. You do need tickets, so get those. But it's a fun place, best place to watch.
We may have some mini helmets potentially to potentially give away.
We will take photos next to any NFL slot machine.
The slot. How's the slot?
We'll also take pictures with you and winning tickets.
Yeah,
if you want to celebrate.
And then also circa that Friday after the second day, come on by because we'll be doing the show 6 to 8 at the VSiN studio, and then just getting drunk with Derek and whatever listeners are there. So that's going to be a grand old time.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
Oh, Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green. He's Ryan.
It's a hell of a medallion, Sean
Kramer. Let it ride.